Bruce?
Liam, morning.
You ready?
Let's light some fires. Everything needs to be out there in the open so people can assess this for what it is.
Hello, I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to Media Watch. And that was Bruce Lerhmann on Seven's Spotlight back in June in an interview that made the former Liberal Party staffer and accused rapist more than $100,000, despite Seven's promises that he had not been paid. And we know now about that payment thanks to a defamation case which Lerhmann flagged in his supposed tell-all.
I'm pressing ahead. I'm not backing down. I'm ready to go toe-to-toe.
You're talking about the Channel 10 defamation?
Yeah.
Bruce Lerhmann has not been convicted of rape and has always maintained his innocence. And he claims his life was destroyed by Brittany Higgins' accusations on 10's The Project in 2021 in an interview with Lisa Wilkinson. Last week saw Lerhmann's defamation trial against 10 in full flight after news.com.au and the ABC settled similar actions. And it was gripping stuff, with TV cameras outside Sydney's federal court and tens of thousands tuned in to a live stream of proceedings as Bruce and Brittany were grilled on their version of events that night in Parliament House back in March 2019, with the trial exposing inconsistencies and lies from both of them. But if Lerhmann was hoping to turn media and public opinion his way, he soon found the headlines were not for turning.
The truth, the half-truths and nothing like the truth.
Bruce Lerhmann defamation trial. The 6 lies he admitted to under cross-examination.
Lerhmann explains his multiple lies.
And even The Australian, which has been giving Lerhmann a sympathetic ear for months, was forced to admit there were
points of contention in the witness box.
Also not helping the former staffer was a video leaked to The Australian's gossip column, which the media agreed was
quite something.
It is quite something, Laura. It's a short video which is doing the rounds in Canberra. And what you can see is the former federal Liberal staffer Bruce Lerhmann belting out the chorus to the popular The Clash song, I Fought the Law. But there has been a notable change to the lyrics.
So, what were Lerhmann's lies? Well, back in June, there was this exchange on Spotlight.
I noticed that he was buying me a lot of drinks.
The clear impression that Brittany Higgins has given is that she was being plied with drinks. I mean, I can only assume it was by you.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous and actually proven in evidence that I'd only spent $40 that night.
Lerhmann had maintained he'd only bought drinks for himself and a male friend. But in court last week, he was forced to admit he had bought at least one drink for Higgins, and he apologised for giving false evidence. And according to 10's counsel, Dr Matthew Collins, CCTV footage showed Lerhmann urging Higgins to drink more, a suggestion he denied. But as cross-examination continued, more lies were revealed, with 2GB's Ben Fordham telling listeners,
"It was a challenge to keep up with them all. He's admitted to lying to security at Parliament House. He's admitted to lying to his former boss, Linda Reynolds, about the reason he gave security for his after-hours visit. He's admitted to lying to his Chief of Staff, Fiona Brown, when he told her that he'd gone back there to have a whiskey. And he's admitted to lying to Channel 7 reporter Liam Bartlett about his reasons for lying to his Chief of Staff."
Not a good look. But Lerhmann also revealed other people's lies, as Seven's rivals at 9 were all too happy to report.
Today, Lerhmann was asked about his own tell-all with the 7 News Spotlight program, revealing his rent has been paid for a year in exchange for the so-called scoop.
That was a revelation, because Spotlight's executive producer Mark Llewellyn told news.com.au back in May that 7 had not paid Lerhmann for the exclusive interview.
No one was paid.
Mr Llewellyn said.
7 News Spotlight made no payment to Bruce Lerhmann for the interview. However, the program assisted with accommodation as part of the filming of the story.
And that line was fed by 7 to others in the media, some of whom were sceptical at the time.
They've said he was not paid, which I find remarkable. I don't understand why you would want to do it. They say that they've paid some accommodation expenses, which were needed for him to be able to be in Sydney for the filming. So that's what they said.
Putting someone up for a night or two to land a major interview is pretty standard practice. But picking up someone's rent for a year in Sydney is entirely different, especially when his first digs was an ocean property with spa and pool, and when the annual rent on his latest pad is up above the six-figure mark.
News.com.au understands the Northern Beaches abode that Mr. Lerhmann is currently staying in was advertised this year for $2,500. If that amount was multiplied over the year, it would be worth $130,000 in rent.
It is a clear-cut case of chequebook journalism, and all the more grubby because of who the money was paid to, and Seven's dishonest denial. And it had several media figures calling for Spotlight to be dropped from the list of nominees for the Walkley Awards Scoop of the Year, with former Walkley Board member Mike Carlton tweeting,
"It wasn't a scoop. They bought it by paying Lerhmann's rent. It was also a crap interview."
Which Carlton went on to clarify in a second post, saying,
"By crap interview, I mean it failed to expose a number of Lerhmann's collisions with fact and truth. All in all, a third-rate sensationalist wank."
Ouch. At the end of last year, we said we doubted if Lerhmann's defamation actions would ever get to court because we didn't believe he'd want to be cross-examined for the first time and rerun the rape trial in a civil court with a lower standard of proof. But he did go ahead, and he'll have to wear the consequences. And while it's up to the judge to decide if 10 can prove that Higgins' allegations on the project were substantially true, we're reminded of media law expert Michael Douglas's comment to us last year.
Like Ben Robert-Smith's case, a claim by Mr. Lerhmann could expose him to the real risk of coming out looking worse.
Or, as another media lawyer quipped, suing could be like a man going back into the lion's den to retrieve his hat. Lerhmann may, of course, still win, but it's a reminder that taking action to protect your reputation does not come without risk. But now to retail and the incredible media deals on offer.
From October 10, our mates at Amazon Australia are making it quick and simple for everyone to shop with their Prime Big Deal Days sale event.
Yes, October saw the start of Amazon's latest sales pitch with wall-to-wall coverage from commercial news and an Amazon rep telling Sunrise,
"Our Prime Big Deal Days sale, it's a brand new event. It's perfectly timed for anyone who wants to start their Christmas and holiday shopping a little bit earlier."
Amazon have been operating in Australia for 6 years and in the run-up to Christmas have been busy getting their brand on the telly for their October and November sales. And no one can sell better than Sunrise consumer correspondent Sean White.
The top 100 toys have been revealed by Amazon. Amazon is back with bigger and better deals.
Discount.
This is rapid fire.
Okay.
Black Friday.
Let's do it.
And it's not even Black Friday, it's Monday.
Yes, who needs a sales rep when you can have a breakfast news reporter? And while White is not getting a cut, it appears that 7 is, from any products Amazon sells via the 7 website. And it wasn't just 7 getting in on that merchandise deal. 9 was too. And at the start of last month, the now cancelled Studio 10 was going the full Oprah, gifting audience members Amazon products for the morning show's 10th anniversary.
To celebrate our 10th birthday, our good friends at Amazon Australia have come to the party. Merry Christmas and happy birthday!
But wait, there's more, because 9 News has also been in on the Plugfest, with Melbourne's Reed Butler throwing out the script and reading straight from the catalogue on, would you believe it, the 6 o'clock news.
Music toys are also on trend at Amazon, like this piano keyboard for $39.99 and this Baby Einstein Toddler Jams musical radio for under $30.
Ka-ching! And over in Perth, 9 News even scored a tour of Amazon's new WA Jandakot warehouse facility, as did all 3 commercial networks, telling us almost in unison,
"This new centre is the same size as the Wacker.
This warehouse is bigger than the Wacker.
Almost as big as the Wacker."
Yes, a line so good, Amazon could almost have written it themselves. And in fact, they did, with reporters lifting the line straight out of the Amazon press release. And all over the country, the media were lining up to interview 2 members of Amazon's PR team, Duncan Fredericks and Kane Reekin, who clocked up on our count almost 24 appearances between them, split between radio and TV. So, why on earth does this stuff make the news? I guess because the media is lazy and can't be bothered to look for real stories. But when you have this sort of guff on the mainstream news, who on earth needs a shopping channel? But now, to the Melbourne man who promised India a miracle and kept his word.
With a clear mind and a warm heart, anything is possible. The impossible is possible. And that's what we did here.
Meet Arnold Dix, the man who helped rescue a group of Indian workers trapped for 17 days, buried under tons of rock in a collapsed Himalayan road tunnel.
They've nicknamed him Father Christmas, and for the 1.5 billion citizens of India, Australian Arnold Dix has proven all that and more.
Dix is a beguiling mix. A barrister, scientist, engineer and one of the world's leading tunnel safety experts. Last year he was appointed president of the Geneva-based International Tunnelling and Underground Space Association. And until this disaster, few had ever heard of him or the organisation. But he was called on to help with the rescue operation 8 days after the collapse and set about telling the local media that he would get the job done.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to rescue these men. When I arrived here, I said there's 41 men coming home and there's no one else going to be hurt, and that's the mission.
And he stuck to that message every day. So 3AW's Neil Mitchell offered him a deal.
When you get everybody out without any injuries, let's go on here and celebrate it.
Look, because you're a radio station, can I get a sticker?
Luckily for Dix, he landed the sticker, saved the men and is now hailed a hero in the Indian media, with the rescue team digging the last 10 metres by hand.
Emerging headfirst from the rescue tunnel into the arms and cheers of hundreds here and more than 1 billion nationwide.
All 41 workers rescued.
And going by the Australian media response, it was the miracle story we desperately needed.
Amid all the horror and the heartache that we're seeing in the world right now, this was such beautiful news to wake up to this morning.
It is the absolute good news story that we need right now.
Great story for the world. Oh, man, I just love this, and I love that interview, every word of it. He is just gorgeous.
Breakfast TV would usually shun a phone interview, but not for Arnold Dix. Sunrise running a whopping 17 minutes on the phone with the Aussie hero last Wednesday.
I just felt that we could do it, even though I wasn't sure how, but I just felt that we could do it. And then we did. We actually did it. And it's so cool.
Nine's Today Show was also enthralled, with Dix telling the audience the rescue was a win for humanity.
This is what nice people do, and not all these crazy, totally shithead, lunatic people. This is what real nice people do to help one another.
Dix is also a farmer. He grows flowers, and a bouquet is what Carl was offering at the end of another interview next day.
I can remember few examples of someone who has achieved so much and with such panache. I think the world of what you've done.
You can guarantee it won't be the last you'll hear of Mr Dix, with Neil Mitchell asking,
Where have you been hiding? I mean, you must be one of the great characters of Melbourne, and you're hiding out in Monbulk growing flowers.
To which the man from Monbulk said,
There's a whole lot of people like me that no one knows about because we just do stuff. We just do it.
And maybe that's why the media embraced Mr Dix, a man who was happy doing his own thing while giving everyone a feel-good moment. And sadly, this is our last show for 2023. But before we go, we thought we'd give you a taste of Media Bites, which goes out every week on social media, and our wrap for the year.
What do you think about what's happening behind you? I think it's on fire. Yeah, that's a very good observation.
Hi, I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to a special edition of Media Bites featuring the best and worst of 2023. And naturally, it includes the smart king of radio.
So where's he get his old pussy from? Is it grabagranny.com?
No wonder he's just landed a $200 million contract. That was Kyle in March lauding Rupert Murdoch's new fiancée, to whom the old fellow was betrothed for just 2 weeks, but looking forward to years together before saying, I don't.
And I quote, spending the second half of our lives together.
Second half of his life, I tell you, that's optimism for you.
He's 92 years old. How much time does he reckon he's got left?
Clearly, he thought he had plenty. Meanwhile, on Sunrise, regular guest Barnaby Joyce was also having a senior moment, recapping the brilliant Matildas.
Well, I went to the pub and watched them on the weekend.
But after a few drinks, it dawned.
I think we're watching the wrong game. I think they'd put on a repeat because it was on Channel 10. I don't think it was the right one.
Whoops!
It's a big progressment in women's sport and we would love to see them go on to win it.
I like that progressment. Let's put that in the dictionary.
Yep, it was a cracking year for women's sport. And a cracking year for arguing on the telly.
It is a de facto parliament in waiting for an Aboriginal sovereignty movement.
In fact, I know my good friend Anthony Dillon
I don't interrupt you when you're making points.
Yes, the voice referendum united us all.
The numbers tell me I wasn't wrong in saying that.
Everything that you have
20%.
said.
Hang on, Warren, we're letting Marcia speak here. You've had your turn.
Caused division in this country.
And how is this for some great talkback radio, courtesy of Brisbane's 4BC, where disgraced columnist and sacked Sky News host Peter Gleeson was thrown a lifeline as its new drive time host, but grabbed it with moments like this.
Mark Burrows has given us a buzz on 133 882. Mark, you've got some thoughts?
Sorry, what was that about? You've just switched it.
Oh, no, I'm asking you, have you got some thoughts?
Regarding what?
You've rung into 4BC. You're on the open line.
No, mate, you got me mixed up with somebody else. I'm sorry.
Mark Burrows, of course, being one of Gleeso's 9 News colleagues.
All right, no worries. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. All right, so, all right, let's talk about the Olympics.
Moving on, which is what Nine's Peter Overton is very good at when the wheels fall off.
OK, let's just find out where you'd like me to go. OK, you'd like me to go to Morocco? OK.
But it's not always that easy.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I've just had a glass of water and it's gone down the wrong way.
Whoops!
Excuse me, I do apologise. Excuse me.
And for Villain of the Year, look no further than former RBA boss Philip Lowe, who was given this ridiculous workover on a current affair.
Taking the stage to a feel-good number. Justin Timberlake's hit single, Can't Stop the Feeling.
With the show's crime editor bailing up the governor to interrogate him.
Well, can't stop the feeling. I mean, the feeling that most of mortgage holders have got today wouldn't be good. I mean, I know you didn't choose the music, sir, but...
Tabloid TV at its worst. Meanwhile, our vote for the best piece of social media junk goes to ABC Australia's TikTok about mailboxes in rural Victoria.
3 million mailboxes.
Yes, your tax dollars at work. And that's all from us for tonight and for the year. Thanks to all our viewers who've sent us tips and ideas. And thanks to the wonderful Media Watch team and executive producer Tim Latham. We'll be back in the new year for some more media watching. But until then, goodbye.